Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamu alaikum and greetings. Alishanmao here, and ooh, look, it seems like I'm wearing a funny hat, but actually it's not. It is just the tail of the eagle that never seen flight because of the windy days. Anyway, today we are going to review this buggy here. It is Mammoth Blitz X1. Well, I'm still wondering what company actually makes it. So, Banggood.com, from where I ordered this buggy, because it actually looked very interesting to me, and having a lot of desert here in Dubai, I thought it would be a good idea to get another desert buggy. This is a 1/8 scale. Well, I'm holding the box and I'm gonna read the salient feature of this buggy very quickly, and after that I'll bring the camera closer and we will take a look at all of those things we have talked about. So this is a 1/8 scale buggy, desert buggy. And next we have a 100 amp brushless ESC. Nice. Baja or Baja, many people call it Baja here. It's Baja actually. Baja off-road tires. We have 2650 kV brushless motor, and trust me, that's not a lightweight motor. Most of the weight of this buggy is because of that ESC and brushless motor. I will bring you to take a look at that motor very soon. It has a waterproof receiver box and waterproof steering servo. It has an innovative battery box. We're going to take a look at that. 4mm aluminum chassis with a centralized weight balance. Adjustable 16mm big bore shocks. Well, nice. Front universal dog bones. Alright, now let's go through the big feature list very quickly. It says pre-assembled 1/8 scale desert racing buggy, which is right here behind us. It has a 2.4 GHz 3-channel radio system with fail-safe and drop-down steering. Where are you, radio? Come on over. Okay, here is the radio. So they also gave the radio a color scheme, the similar color scheme as the buggy. You can see at the background the buggy color scheme. They gave the same thing, and on top, smiley robot face. So we'll take a look at this radio very quick and talk about it. After that, we have a powerful and waterproof steering servo, 4mm aluminum chassis. I just talked about that. Waterproof receiver box. We talked about that. Composite chassis braces for extra driving feel. Well, I'm not sure about driving feel, but maybe they talked about the driving looks or the looks of the buggy. And we have a tough oil-filled gear differentials, spiral cut diff gears for extra stability, front universal dog bones, silicone oil-filled big bore shocks with threaded bodies, inverse steering block design, front end, Baja off-road tires, aluminum shock towers which have multiple shock mounting positions, quick access to all critical components. Well, we will see how quick is that. And then we have a dual bell crank steering with aluminum drag link. That sounded very nice, but some of the beginners, they will be like, huh? What is that? Anyway, so dual bell crank steering with aluminum drag link. We will take a look at it. Cam type servo saver, all socket head screws, which is very nice. Some people use the ordinary screws, and when they rip, because on the bottom when they get ripped you have no way to turn to open them. So this has all socket head screws, very nice. And then it also fits any optional 1/8 scale buggy tires. Now that means I can take the tires off, the sand pedal tires from my other buggy, the Blazer XB, and put those tires on this one, and we will see what this buggy will do with those pedal tires. Alright, enough said. Now let me bring the camera closer and we'll take a look at all of those things that we have just spoken about. Okay, here we are with the Mammoth Blitz X1 buggy. When I took it outside the box, I was like, wow, man, this is a good buggy and I'm gonna have lots of fun. And I hope I'm gonna have lots of fun with it. Okay, so let's go through the features once again. So they have, Baja off-road wheels, and you have a spare wheel back here. For the looks, this is simply one aggressive looking buggy which gives you the feeling right outside the box that it's gonna just rip through the desert and give you the awesome dune bashing time out there. And luckily I'm here in Dubai, so we're gonna put this desert buggy and its capabilities to run off-road in the desert or sand very soon. On the front here you have 4 LED light sockets. They don't have LED lights in it, so if you like you can easily add LED lights on it and turn it for a super aggressive night racing buggy. We can also add a light bar on top if we can, so we will see. If I had time, I have a lot of LEDs. I will try to put LEDs on it for the night drive. Okay, for all the other specs that we were reading, one of the specs was very easy access to all the critical components, because all the critical components, as you can see, are inside. How do you insert the batteries actually? Now, how do you put the batteries inside and how do you strap them? Well, that's where it says, that's where the manufacturer says easy access to everything. Now let me show you how easy that access is. For that easy access, you will have to remove a number of pins. So number 1 is right here on top on the nose, okay? And after that, let me see, you have 1 pin right down here. Okay, so we'll take it out. Alright, I'll turn the buggy around, and we have 1 more pin right here. So I'll take it out. I hope you are noting the taking note of the time we are spending to try to get the whole thing off this buggy. Okay, after that, just like this. Alright, and we have to get something out from here. 2 of the pins at the back. 1, 2. And now, there you go. That's your easy access to all the electronics and critical components. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pins to take out. After that, this thing will come off really easy. So that's how you quickly get access to all the critical parts. Now, yes, this is in my hand here, so I would like to take an opportunity to talk about it. This is heavy. So why this is heavy? Most probably those 2 scary looking drivers sitting inside it is heavy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove them completely in order to shed some weight out of this buggy. So I have to take out a number of screws to get those pilots out, and then maybe we can fit a camera in it. That will be nice, and we can get a very nice feel. So I'm gonna remove them and maybe put my run cam in there. Okay, so being heavy, that means this is strong, and probably it's gonna eat up a lot of crushes and not gonna break. But anyway, I will as I'm seeing that. But anyway, looking at the cage, this cage looks really nice and strong, made of sturdy, strong plastic. So possibly it's gonna eat up the crushes anyway. So I'm gonna remove the drivers in the end to shed some weight out of this, and then we will be able to install some cameras in there for a very nice driving feel, the real driving feel from inside. Okay, when the case is out, then we have the whole buggy, the real thing that we wanted to take a look at. First thing first, you want to hold the buggy and turn it over. Okay, now this is what we are talking about, is a 4 mm thick aluminum chassis, and this is really not easy to bend this guy, but I worry that we might be bending it here because it gets really thin here, and any hard hit on the front is gonna bend this upward. Screws are socket head screws and very nicely done, and that's why I was saying it's good, because some people, they just use the normal type of screws, and when the chassis on the bottom touches the stones and after the jumps touches the ground, the screws will rip apart. Their heads will rip, and then you will not be able to open them. But here, socket head screws completely dug into this chassis, nice and good, so they're not gonna rip that easy. I see, however, on the front, these 2 screws are not properly screwed in. They are sticking out a little bit. Apart from this, we have the chassis braces, okay, these ones right here, and these are composite material as well. Next we have the motor, as I was talking about. This is a monster sitting here. That's a big brushless motor, and this is 2650 kV motor that we have talked about before. A 3670, that's the number on the motor. Nice big heavy motor that looks powerful. Now let's see how much power it's gonna pump in. The gears are already set for you. The gear mesh is actually very nice. It's properly set up from the factory. Right in the center of the chassis we have the central differential gearbox and the spur gear right there, and two of the dog bones, long ones, are connecting this central gearbox to your front and rear differentials. Battery bay is right here. Now they were talking about a unique battery bay. Well, it is unique because you can put two batteries together right here. Yes, you have to put two 7.4 volt batteries. Let me bring the batteries and put them in right away. So here are two of the batteries. They will fix right here. Now depending on how long your thin batteries are, you can easily fix the batteries. These are the standard thickness 4500 milliamp 30C 7.4 volt batteries. You can see we still have some space left there, so you can actually add longer batteries. So if you have more mAh and those batteries are like longer, you will still be able to fix. Now if you have thinner batteries, not that thick, you can still you have their adjusters given here. You can actually adjust it. For instance, you want to use a single 14.8 volt battery, and you have to actually modify the connectors here, but if you want to use that, you can easily adjust. So here we have the adjusters which will adjust according to thickness of your battery. Okay, so we can put two batteries inside very easily. These are 7.4 volt standard size batteries. After you put the batteries in, strap them tight. Now comes the tricky part. Okay, as mentioned, these are two connectors. So one of the connectors is very easy to connect. Another connector is all the way dug under the wheel right here. Okay, and you can see I'm already having trouble actually putting it. The length of the battery cable is not long enough to reach to this one. So I will push this battery forward. And I will hope, no, there is no way I can add the battery connector to it. So let me see if I can add this one. No way. No matter how much I pull it, it doesn't come to this connector. So this is a problem here. Let me check, hold on. There you go. And you can see that this connector is actually not long enough. It's coming all the way from the ESC, from the back of the ESC. It's coming all the way from the back of the ESC, and well, there's no way I can actually connect a battery, because no matter how much I pull, the battery connector does not reach to this connector. So now I have to modify this connector. I have to add cable, extend the length of the cable before I can put two of the batteries here. Well, thank you very much. Well, let me see what else we can do. Maybe I can just turn this battery around a bit, or let's say first connect this battery and then, no. Even if I connect this battery first and then try to push it in, this will simply disconnect my connector right there. Let me see if I put the battery upside down this way. Well, it fits. Okay, finally it fits, but as you can see how much tension there is on this connector. Any kind of front hit, so if you had any kind of frontal hit and if your battery moves a bit, you will get the battery disconnected from here. So this is a very bad choice of making connectors. So this is a very bad practice to make connectors this much short. Now I have to modify these connectors. Thank you very much for that extra work on my end. Okay, let's move on. Here is your 100 amp ESC, okay, sitting right on the back of the buggy, and you have your on-off switch right here with a settings switch for your ESC. Should you want to set your throttle range or calibrate your throttle, you will be using this switch. Then we have the receiver compartment. This is completely waterproof. They said about They said that, well, I am sure this is waterproof, but is it sand-proof? Sand goes everywhere, remember that. So we will see how dust-proof and waterproof this box is. They also said the servo is waterproof servo. I'm not sure what servo is it, but there's no information about it. But we will see how good it performs. Then we have a servo saver right down there to save your servo from stripping when you're driving. This is one of the must-have parts on all kind of buggies. Coming down here to the suspension arms, these are simply new design that the company is stating. These are a complete build, not like the other traditional designs, so possibly they are gonna prove themselves stronger than the standard or traditional designs. So apart from the dog bones on the front side, which are nice and thick and they give you kind of confidence that they're not gonna bend that easily, you're also gonna see another steel bar or rod going through here. This is your anti-roll bar. That is very, very nice. Anti-roll bar will give you an extra leverage when driving. Anti-roll bar will give you extra stability. And to the shock towers are all aluminum, very thick metal actually, and they have multiple points for you to screw your shocks. Depending on how you want to have your shocks, you can put them in the center, left or right. So there are 3 different positions or points for you to adjust your shocks. So that is adjustable shock towers front and rear. That was front, and here is the rear shock tower. Again, you can see with extra holes for you to adjust your shocks. Coming to the rear side, you will also notice an anti-roll bar already installed. As mentioned, these front and rear anti-roll bars are going to give you extra leverage and stability when driving. On the front, you have been given with 4 LEDs brackets. Well, there's no LEDs in it. So if you want to add LED lights on those, you're going to have to work on that. And after that, you can make the buggy look even more realistic or go for night driving. Coming to the big bore oil-filled shocks, they are fully adjustable. So you can always tighten these or loosen these to adjust the tension of the springs and loosen or tighten your suspension. Now regarding the travels of the shocks, well, right now there is nothing on the buggy, no batteries, nothing is installed, like the top cover is not installed. So buggy is sitting on its wheel. So buggy is sitting to its full ground clearance. There is no damping on the shocks, but I'm sure after we install the batteries and the cover on top, this is gonna damp a little. Now regarding the travel of the shocks, if I push the buggy all the way down, I still can pull the wheel a little bit up. When the chassis is touching to the ground, I can still move one of the wheels up. This means shock travel is much more than enough, and it's not gonna bottom out on very high jumps. You're gonna have the bottom hits on the chassis, but your shocks are not gonna bottom out. So this is a very, very nice thing. Same goes on the back. When I put the buggy all the way down, chassis is touching down, I still have a bit of travel on the shocks. So the shocks are definitely not gonna bottom out. Most of the time, this point is not considered in the buggies when manufacturers are making. When you go for high jumps, your buggy comes down and shocks bottom out, and they actually get damaged and start leaking oil. So here the shocks are not bottoming out no matter how much hard jumps you're having or high jumps you're having, and you will not have leaking shocks. Now if you had the leaking shocks, that means the quality of shocks is really, really poor. So we're gonna see that and we're gonna see about that. Now regarding one thing about the wheels, I feel that there is a play in the wheels. Okay, you see front, there's a lot of play here, and there's a lot of play on the rear wheels as well. Well, this has nothing to do with wheels being loose. These are perfectly tightened nuts on those, so my guess goes to the wheel hubs probably are not fitting perfectly inside the wheels, and that is why these are the loose wheels. I'm not sure if they are gonna affect the driving or not. We will see, but I'm sure on the front loose wheels, they're always gonna affect the driving. So we're gonna see how well this buggy is driving, of course, or if these little issues are gonna affect the driving or not. Here's the radio that came with the buggy. It's very lightweight, and honestly speaking, it has a very, very cheap looks right here. Okay, There's an on-off button, then you have throttle trim, steering trim. So throttle trim and the steering trim, nothing else. And there's a third channel, which probably we are not gonna use. So right now, well, anyway, this is gonna work. It takes 4 AA size batteries. So for now, I'm just gonna go with it and see what is the range and how is the performance of the radio control. If in case it's not gonna perform very well, I have my Futaba 4 PLS to replace this one with the stock radio. For now, we will just go with the stock El Cheapo looking type of radio. Well, anyway, at least they match the color scheme. Okay, thank you very much for watching this lengthy video. I hope I have covered everything about Blitz X1, the Mammoth Blitz X1 1/8 scale 4-wheel drive buggy. Did I say it was 4-wheel drive? Well, I did, I believe. This is a 4-wheel drive buggy. So for the very first time, of course, I will drive it total stock. That means right outside the box. I will see right outside the box, total stock, how this buggy performs with these wheels. And after that, I'm gonna replace the wheels, rear wheels, with paddle tires, and we will see how well it will perform on the sand or in the desert. Apart from that, as I mentioned, I might need to shade some weight by removing the the drivers, not the pilots, and probably add more tension or adjusting the shocks for a better ground clearance while driving on sand, because on the sand you don't want your buggy to bottom out. Once the belly hits the sand, your vehicle is gonna go and sit turtle right there. So stay tuned for the bashing videos of Mammoth Blitz X1 somewhere in the desert very soon. Thank you very much. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with family and friends, and of course do subscribe to my channel and stay updated for all the exciting upcoming uploads. Hey, thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel and stay updated for all the coolest and regular RC videos, RC shows, RC reviews, time-lapse videos, and much more. Thank you very much for all your support. More videos are coming. I gotta eat this cod maybe.